It is conceivably possible to make a little game out of throwing a rug into the air and then seeing where it lands and then grabbing a bag of marbles and then letting the marbles fly down the sides of the rugs. Yeah. It's pretty cool to do that, but you've gotta have the right ambiance and such, and some marbles and such things. But what is that all relevant for? It is because when you find cool avenues, then it's maybe kind of fun to make little realms for the marbles to travel, but you have to make a lot of space to be able to make the rug real steep, and then also make little trapdoors and fun things for it to curve and curl and go back and forth around. Oh yeah. Okay, so this is a fun little game, and this is just an example of a fun little game. Oh, welcome to news. Oh yeah, and by the way, you can also go as far as to meet like a spouse or a significant other just by playing games such as this, yeah, by pulling them into it. Oh yeah, if you're attracted to somebody and you find a way to align with them and their existence and their frequency and their nature of flow, if you can just try to coincide with them by playing a little bit of a game by this like similar weird one they're talking about the marbles. Oh yeah, that is kind of cool though, especially if you use little mechanical parts and pieces that you can buy, but also if you make your own little pathways for the marbles to travel through. Okay, but that's just an example of a game, and the game for change aspect, or a game for that causes change on the back end, which causes philanthropy on the back end. Philanthropy energy is indicative of the business world these days. Oh yeah, and talking about the business world, oh yeah, transitioning from significant other stuff to the business world, to where in essence you can do things like, if you have the right properties, to be able to shift into making things that are not toxic, because all things in the monetary energy world are toxic, and playing games that are fun are somewhat pure, but playing games for change is not toxic. That is philanthropy energy. Oh yeah, philanthropy energy. What does that relate, or what is that different from in today's world? Today's world is full of monetary energy focus. Today's world is full of a whole system that has to do with monetary energy as the thing that is feeding to the world. That is the primary focus, that is the primary food that is being eaten by the world. And if you're able to analyze and deconstruct and dismantle all the statistics in the world, you're able to see that by feeding it monetary energy, it is still not just necessarily about business, it's necessarily about the energy that goes in specifically, and one modification for that energy to be able to make it a more functional process in this whole world is by feeding it philanthropy energy, and all the games in the world are all the businesses in the world right now are games, but they're not as fun as if they were to be played with philanthropy energy, because that makes it more fun, because it's about global giving at that time, and everybody's working together at that time, because the global philanthropy grid is something that connects all human beings, and it makes one world country. Oh yeah, and sort of a social obligation, if there's an agreement, to be able for everybody to have a little bit of responsibility in the whole world, to be able to just try to pitch in, because it's like worth acknowledging that it's such a unique experience to be able to all be in this somehow unique encounter that is floating within the universe and in space, and also within inside of a body, and it's a unique experience which is worth setting aside all of our differences just for the temporary time that we get to experience that time, and just kind of meditate and just chill on that, and be able to think it's pretty interesting, and try to make everybody's experience smooth as possible, because hey, it's temporary in the meantime after all, unless there's some kind of transformative technology that allows all people to live a little bit longer through using vessels that are able to give them a pipeline to a lifeline that is extending through uploading your consciousness into the cloud, for example, and that's pretty cool. Let's hope that all goes down, yeah, for sure, in the long term. Okay, so transitioning, yeah. Something else we want to try to do maybe is called merchandising, where we sell merchandise, oh yeah, and then try to, in essence, use that merchandise selling to be able to distribute more of the Dinky Tehc brand and Change4Games Studios brand. Oh yeah, it's a little bit difficult trying to get off the ground, for sure. It's very difficult to try to communicate the name of Dinky Tehc and Change4Games Studios to people. Oh yeah, so we're trying to make visual examples and such things to be able to just try to continue to market and make visualizations, and hope that AI can help turn over some of this more of the work that needs to be done, oh, to be able to get distribution happening, okay, into the pipelines where audiences live, okay, and for for it to be acknowledged and understood what is actually being spoken about in some of these podcasts, for example, but other things that are similar to the podcast, for example, because it's super interesting and relevant somehow and sometimes when you get into the right chi and flow and mindset and vibes and frequency lanes to be able to cash in on what is the advantages of spiritual finance. Oh, yeah. So, transitioning the world from philanthropy from monetary energy into philanthropy energy is a much more healthy process because right now the world is eating monetary energy, and when it starts, it is able to transition to philanthropy energy, then it will become much more healthy, and all the statistics in the world can become much more healthy because everybody in the world is participating in global giving type activities, type of games. We call those games because all the businesses in the world today are games. In essence, they're processes, they're cyclical processes that gain value and monetary energy from those processes. Oh yeah, but when they're playing for the sake of gaining philanthropy energy, it is a much healthier process for the whole world. The whole world would thank us. The whole world would become healthier. The whole world would become more lean. And the statistics that reflect all aspects of statistics of the whole world would show, like a printout graph, that they are more healthy across the nature of the board, so that we've got more of a thing that is called Earth to be proud of. Oh, that is the intention, that is the hope, that is the purpose. So yeah, I was saying a second ago, we're going to try to sell things in different ways to be able to do merchandising, that is like merchandising and advertising at the same time. Those two words combined. Oh yeah, my friend, yeah. So, it is also somewhat hopeful that we're able to acknowledge the essence of propaganda and be able to flip it around in this instance, because that is what our world is trying to do. Our world of Change4Games Studios is trying to flip the negativity of yesterday into positivity. So we're trying to take the essence of propaganda and use it in this essence of the Change4Games Studios global giving games world and try to flip gravity up on its head. Try to flip gravity upside down, for example, so that everybody can fly, for example, and be able to play within an ice skating rink that's in the sky, which is a symbol for foundational philanthropy energy, being able to be frozen in a certain sense in a place and be able to freeze time in place to be able to make this philanthropy energy systematization, so that underneath the global giving games ice rink that's in the sky, it's floating in the sky, and everybody's able to float up to it by acknowledging it, that underneath that ice rink that is populating and percolating and propagating philanthropy energy. It's taking all old energy, such as monetary energy and intention, that is unfulfilled potential, that is also unfulfilled potential in a philanthropy energy type of a way, and then also wasted time, also wasted attention that is in the regular world, to be able to repurpose that into philanthropy energy, more so pure philanthropy energy. Okay. And so we're using that through visual examples, and that's turning everything on its head, just like propaganda. Propaganda is used for negativity for the most part, and it's used by large organizations to be able to cause mass persuasion for negative purposes, typically is what that term is associated with as a whole, or as a rule, I suppose you could say. But the intention of Change4Games Studios is to try to flip a lot of things that are negative into positives. Okay, yeah, that's what the whole purpose of philanthropy energy is doing, is taking monetary energy, which is negative and unhealthy to an extent, and flipping it over so that it is philanthropy energy, and that it has the properties that are good from monetary energy, but then again synthesizing them into just the good and positive stuff from the nature of monetary energy, to still be able to cause commerce and trade that occurs between all people. But everyone's giving. In essence, we're giving. There's a lot more giving happening, and that is the nature, that is electricity that's caused, and it can spread throughout the whole entire world, because just like a Christmas gift giving exchange situation, everybody's obligated to give, and if you have that understanding to begin with, then it causes a whole process where everybody is rewarded, because there's ongoing giving and gifts, and it's very smooth. It's a smooth process, because who doesn't like getting gifts, after all? And it's an ongoing gift-giving service exchange situation. So you must acknowledge the positivity within that. It's just like the Tom Shoes model. Tom Shoes, he buys one, and if people buy one from him, then they give one. And that is an indicative process which we also hope to mimic all in this whole process as a whole. It's also with an energy thing. It's buy one, give one. If there's more energy or attention that's given to this brand and this company, that just goes right back and it's repurposed into a large energy system. It's not just an energy system. It's not just Tom Shoes. It is all of the above. It is propaganda being flipped over on its head, and it's reverse propaganda. This is reverse propaganda. So we have just positive propaganda. So all this systematization and energy flow within it is like reverse propaganda, because it's everybody wants to play the games. They're not being swayed or convinced or use mass persuasion to be able to make everyone do it. It's just everyone having the realization that this positive energy is within inside them to begin with, so that realization of that positive energy just causes an organic interest to want to play games, because it was the opposite before, realizing that they had the potential taken away from them by having just the ability to have to follow certain currents and flows in society that are catered to monetary energy, and therefore it was actually the opposite of needing to be persuaded into something. It was something that they already had was kind of taken away in terms of the mentality of childlike games being able to be played at the forefront of mind, and now they're able to get that back. That ability to get that back is just like going back. It's like reverse propaganda, and they get all those powers back from childlike games, and everybody gets to play them at once in the global giving games to be able to give philanthropy energy to the whole world and the whole global ecosystem. So everybody's participating in one world country, and all fighting is unnecessary because all the world is working together in one giant global ecosystem. Oh, like an ant farm. Oh, like an ant farm. But everybody is cool in the ant farm and getting along and appreciative of one another, because everyone realizes that everyone else, like a node in a blockchain system, is important and relevant for giving data to the whole ecosystem, and everybody is relevant in an electronical sense. In that fashion, all the electricity flows between all the processes and the touch points and the checkpoints and the places and the spaces and the partitions and the dots in the whole grid. Oh yeah, in the global philanthropy energy grid. Oh yeah, of philanthropy energy. That is a grid that is over the whole world. Oh yeah, that's what the whole ice rink in the sky analogy is about. Oh yeah. And we're hoping for some random magic. We're hoping for some random magic to come out from the woods in terms of continuing to do this podcast. We need trying to summon some random magic, because every little podcast is like its own little weird little random magic situation, because we're just trying to summon unknowns, a little bit of unknowns, and try to scoot the needle, the items forward just a little bit at a time, little balls forward just a little bit at a time, so that we're making progress in the scope of naturality, that it's just moving along little bits at a time, and we're just hoping that some magic can come from the woods to be able to grace this whole process. Oh yeah, because we're talking about philanthropy energy. There's only really one other energy that is known to man that is more significant beyond monetary energy, known to humanity since the beginning of time. We've had trade since the beginning of humanity, and there's always trade, and that's monetary energy, because it's focused on trade, it's focused on getting something better, and that's how man has always operated. But in the future, is take interest with using philanthropy energy as a form of trade. Giving is the new form of currency, it's the new form of trading, it's the new form of good, it's a new form of games, it's all those things that are incentives for the energy to be able to circulate in a more positive fashion, and it makes the world a more healthy place. And it's the only energy that is known, that is more valuable. It is more valuable than monetary energy known to man, because that is the only incentive in the past to be able to give. For monetary energy to be able to be the thing that's powering society in the past, and that's toxic. But when the realizations are more so occurring that philanthropy energy is a more valuable energy than monetary energy, just from the innate energies that are inside all human beings, and those energies being able to become unearthed is a priceless experience as a whole, and it is not bound to a price that is connected to monetary energy, and therefore it is a much more valuable energy than monetary energy. And once the realization continues to occur, it is continually acknowledged that philanthropy energy is the only energy in the world that is more valuable. It is more valuable than monetary energy. Yeah, it is more valuable than monetary energy. Philanthropy energy is the only other energy that is more so valuable on this commonly agreed upon planet of items that are valuable. Philanthropy energy is the only agreed upon energy that is more valuable than monetary energy, because giving is the highest form of art, and art is at the top of mind in our societies across the whole world. Okay, yeah, oh yeah. And so just like things unfolding like a banana, or like energy, like in a certain energy that is packed, and it is like dominoes that are stacked. We, like a movie, are trying to have this whole brand react in a similar fashion so that there is a transposition. There is an unfolding of energy that hopefully is packed within these brands, within these podcasts, within everything that we're doing, so that it can hopefully unfold in an organic sense. We have sounds, business music sounds that are continually unfolding and being able to be played to the audiences that are we're trying to find and connect with organically throughout the world, and making influence so that there's entertainment and edutainment and sounds, business music, sounds, and philanthropy, energy, and spiritual finance all working together to be able to develop an entertaining process so that everybody gets to sing along and chime along, and that our world in this time, and this world in this time, and this time in this world is able to work off of and from philanthropy energy giving games, global giving games on a philanthropy energy global giving grid, because we're all connected to electricity. So we're just finally now tracking that energy on the global giving grid, the global giving games grid, that is philanthropy energy that is on a global giving scale in the global giving games philanthropy energy grid, and that's within the Change4Games Studios realm and pipelines of where it's all going with this. So hopefully you can all help, everyone in the world can help, and we can all just continue to help this process grow, help this process continue to thrive. And we need your help, we need everybody's help to be able to pick up the process, to be able to make it thrive and move and flow and function and continue to expand the world's mindset as a whole, so that the global game of business can expand to a fun global giving games environment, and everyone's having fun like children playing the global game of business now, from now on, through entrepreneurship means. Thanks again, Dinky Tehc. Peace.